Okay, so in this video, I'm going to be talking about Richie the Barber. That is what he calls himself. And he is a gentleman on the left, looking like a clown, full of face tattoos and the whole clown look. And the reason that I want to do a quick video on him is because I think that he is part of the last days deception as far as trying to give people a false idea of what being a Christian is about. Because clearly, when you first look at him, you realize, like, wow, like, that is just really to the left, right? And I'm not speaking from a point of, we all live and learn as a Christian, because I did myself. I used to get a lot of tattoos, even when I was being called and I was learning. It took a couple of years until I realized, I don't need any more tattoos, if I want to be a good witness. And I don't want to look too outrageous because I want to be a good witness. And the Holy Spirit will teach you. And so I understand that we all go through a learning process. But I don't think that's the case with this guy because of who he's connected with. He is connected with Alex Jones. And Alex Jones is a gatekeeper. He works for the opposition. He is controlled opposition. He is COINTELPRO. And so is this guy. He's a plant. He's an agent. He is, purposely trying to destroy what is traditional Christianity and how the Holy Spirit works. Because if you're truly saved and filled with the Holy Spirit of truth, He will guide you into the truth, and you will understand eventually that, yeah, if I want to be a good witness for Christ, I don't want to look outrageous. And, I understand if you got his face tattoos before, but he still presses the issue of getting tattoos and lip piercings and looking outrageous. So that is not the work of the Holy Spirit. That is the work of a fake. He's a plant. He's COINTELPRO. He's working for the opposite side. He's selling the idea of what the Bible calls denying the power of the Holy Spirit to change you, right? So he's basically selling the idea that you can do, you can look and do and be as outrageous as you want with tattoos and piercings and, whatever. And his tongue is even slit. That's the crazy thing, too. Just like the serpent tongue. Down the middle, he got it cut down the middle so that it's like a snake's tongue. That's crazy. I mean, he's telling you in plain sight. But he is giving a false representation of the Holy Spirit because he is endorsing tattoos and piercings and looking outrageous. The serpent tongue and all this stuff still. And he says that he's a pastor now. The Holy Spirit changed you and showed you that, to be a good witness, you don't want to look outrageous. And I'm speaking from a point where I have tattoos. And even after I was being called a couple years, I got another tattoo. But I realized that no, I'm not supposed to get tattoos anymore. And, I have a lot. I have like 10 tattoos, something like that. But I realized, no anymore, not anymore. But he's doing the opposite. So that's not the Spirit of God working. And then to call yourself a pastor. And, even past that, just his connections with Alex Jones and the fact that he goes viral. You can't go viral if you're really on something. If you're really being led by the Spirit, if you're really doing it right, they'll do what they do to my channel. They will completely shadow ban you, every week, and, I only get past 100 views. But then every now and then, one of my videos will go crazy, like 1,000 views. And then another video will go crazy, 1,000 views. And then all of a sudden, somebody notices it, or the artificial intelligence does, and I'm back down to 150 views. You see, because the shadow bans go on and off. So, again, it's clear. I mean, it was easy for me to see that when he was on Alex Jones and all of the popularity that he's getting, and especially the way he looks, but that clearly he is purposely planted there to destroy being showing to destroy, to try to destroy the correct representation of the Holy Spirit. He is just a plant. And I say that with grace and truth, but I know what's going on here. I know what's going on here. And one thing that he's very popular known for doing is exposing the Hollywood industry and the Illuminati and stuff like this. Well, sure, but who isn't doing that? They're supposed to do that because they want you to embrace them because they're plants, right? Remember the parable of the sower. The enemy came in and sowed tares into the field also. So you have tares that are imitating and trying to deceive people by saying that they're the wheat. That's what's going on here. COINTELPRO, look it up. Controlled opposition, look it up. And it's all connected to, the CIA and all this stuff. They are purposely trying to destroy what the Holy Spirit does by saying, oh, it's still good to get piercings. It's still good to get face tattoos. It's still good to look totally outrageous. It's still good to, have a slit tongue like a serpent. Literally, he literally slit his tongue down the middle like a serpent. A forked tongue, right? What is a forked tongue, right? Double speak, right? But again, this attracts the crowd that is kind of on the fence, right? They're like, oh, this guy's cool. He's got tattoos. He looks like me, right? Oh, this guy's cool. He says that it's still good to get tattoos and look, really wild and get face piercings and slit tongue, you see? So that's a false representation of the Holy Spirit and the way that the Holy Spirit works. I've never done that. Even when I did get a tattoo after I was being cold, I never said, oh, this is great. And soon I learned after that, like, no, I shouldn't get any more tattoos. It's not right. It's not right. So I just had to talk about this guy for a while. I've been holding off on talking about him because, there's just something inside of me that can relate a lot with some people like this that have tattoos and like to dye their hair red and, like to really dress up, because I used to be just like that. I was a punk rocker. I had a huge mohawk, red mohawk. I like to get tattoos and drink beer and do all that stuff. So I could totally relate. And that's kind of why I was holding off about talking about Richie the Barber. But I can clearly see deeper than that. His connections with Alex Jones, his connections with all celebrities, the things that he's talking about. And, they're hot topics right now because it's purposely being put out there by the enemy. They're purposely doing it on purpose. And so also not only his connections, but his endorsement of still getting, things like piercings and tattoos, as if it's still a good thing after you're saved. I know there's some time to grow, but, I know that's not the case here. I can see what's going on. It's much deeper than face tattoos and looking really wild. It's way deeper than that because of his connections. I know what he's doing. I know what they're doing, Like I said, the Bible speaks about they have a form of godliness, but they deny the power of, right? So there's a form of godliness there. He talks about Jesus. He does say some good things. He does read some Bible verses every now and then, but he denies the power of. And that means that there is no change in the heart, right? And when there's no change, no true change, then you never come to the knowledge of the truth, right? It's just a form of godliness, but you deny the power of. And the power of the Holy Spirit is to reveal truth to you, just like he did me. It took a couple of years after I was called to realize that I was in error for getting a tattoo, but it did come. And it didn't come by anybody browbeating me. It didn't come by anybody saying what a piece of garbage I was. It didn't come by any of that. It came by personal revelation from the Holy Spirit. Just from being in the Word and from learning truth more and more and more that I just knew. I said, no, that just isn't right anymore. But like I said, it's way deeper than just the way he looks. And it's way deeper than even what he says. It goes as far as to who he's connected with. And the idea that he's not getting shadow banned. He's getting hundreds of thousands of views. He's blown up. And you can't blow up like that unless there's an agenda, unless they're backing you, unless you're part of it. So clearly, research COINTELPRO, research controlled opposition, clearly. So thank you guys. Nothing personal against this guy. Some of these people are victims. You know, if you're born into it or you go into it, you can't really get out. You know, because where are you going to go? And if you run, you know, if they get you, then they get you. So anyways, God bless.